Hello everybody and welcome back to Expert Examiner IELTS. My name is Glyn and in this video we have another practice speaking test, this time with Maxim from Belarus. Maxim's English is absolutely amazing and I think you will enjoy this speaking test. However, there are some problems there, and so I'm interested to see, dear viewers, if you can understand what perhaps I don't love about some of Maxim's answers. If you have any ideas, put them in the comments. But anyway, let's check out this incredible speaker. Good afternoon, my name is Glyn. Would you please tell me your full name?
My name is Maxim. You can call me Max.
Okay, thanks, Max. Now, in this first part of the test, I'm going to ask you some questions about yourself. Do you work or do you study?
I work. I'm currently working as a project manager. Initially, I started out as a software engineer, but then I started seeking for better job opportunities, so to say. And one of the reasons that I decided to kind of switch into a different subdomain of IT sector was purely down to the fact that I'm able to juggle a multitude of different projects simultaneously. And I find it's way more enticing and riveting. You can, I don't know, put your finger on so many different things. And I reckon, everyone would, I mean, not everyone, come to think of it. The vast majority of people, who quickly, get bored with certain things, would find it way more, I don't know, just way more tantalizing of an option.
And do you think you'll stay in this job for a long time?
I mean, to be completely honest with you, I haven't really entertained the idea of I don't know, changing jobs at the moment. I'm trying to, I don't know, allocate more time, ring fence more time to one of my side hustles, which is somewhat related to IT industry. I reckon it might turn out to be a ludicrous endeavor. So I'm currently working really furiously to, I don't know, just to bring it to fruition, to materialize all of these plans of mine. But the thing is, deviations they happen.
Sorry, I'd like to move on now and talk to you about technology. How often do you use a computer?
On a daily basis. It's a part and parcel of my job, to use it. It's the type of equipment that I can't just weasel my way out of using. And I reckon, it's pretty vital for me to, be adept, at technologies, using it, have a way with different software programs, because they're indispensable. And on top of it all, they also allow you to create, so many different things that, yeah.
And do you use a computer much in your free time?
I try to steer clear of it. Yeah, probably, you can chalk it up to the fact that, I get quite sick and tired of looking at my screen, and sometimes it feels as if I'm stuck in a rut, when I'm using it all the time. And generally, it's not really, exhilarating to be shackled to a chair, throughout the entirety of the day. So yeah, this feeling of going through the motions is is a tad off-putting. Let's put it this way. So instead, I try to offset it with physical activities. I try to hit the gym a tad more frequently, because I have to kind of negate all of the, I don't know, potential ramifications of a sedentary job.
All right, let's talk about animals now. Do you like animals?
I do, actually. I have a dog, and being a pet owner, I yeah, I must say that animals is I don't know, I mean, it's, some people deem it to be some sort of a stepping stone, or I don't know, a catalyst that you have to resort to before actually take the plunge and start having kids, right? And in a way, it is true. but the fact that they're so reliant on humans is what makes them quite vulnerable. But once again, like I'm getting, that sidetracked. I like animals.
And how often do you go to the zoo?
Well, I mean, I can't recall the last time I was there, so definitely not, as much as I would like to.
Okay, thank you. Now, in this next part of the test, I'm going to give you a topic, and I would like you to speak about this topic for 1 to 2 minutes. But
Mhm.
before that, you will have 1 minute to prepare for your talk, and you may take notes if you wish. Do you understand?
I do.
I will now share the topic on my screen. Can you see the topic?
Hmm.
I'd like you to talk about a time when you helped someone. So your 1 minute of preparation time starts now. All right, so that's the end of your preparation time. To remind you, you will have between 1 and 2 minutes to give your talk, and I will let you know when the time is up. Can you start speaking now, please?
All right. So I remember one time, when one of my colleagues was just completely inundated with a gazillion of different tasks at work. And, he was essentially stretching himself too thin at the time. So I had to, you know, come to his help. And, because at the time, I had a status of a senior developer, I was definitely like equipped with more skills and knowledge that I could tap into, that I could deploy, in order to, you know, iron out a lot of his problems. So eventually, it turned out like really great. Yeah, everything turned out well. I was able to, you know, what would you say, like take a lot of like weight of his shoulders in terms of once again like the number of tasks that he was afflicted with at the time. I mapped out some of the issues that he wasn't familiar with, and generally I reckon like it was extremely helpful because he was really afraid to screw up at the time. I managed to help him like kind of like desensitize himself to the fear of failure when it comes to all of these things. So I was, in a way, I was mentoring him, and seldom do people actually realize how, I don't know, like crucial it is, like to do all of these things, especially when it comes to, newcomers in the industry. Um, yeah, and like once again, like if you do not do it, it might actually ricochet back at you. You have to really like, I don't know, like liaise with a lot of your colleagues and take a close look at what they're doing, especially if the potential like repercussions of this of their mistakes. Uh,
Okay, thank you.
yeah,
All right, you've been talking about a time then when you helped someone.
yeah.
Now let's talk about helping others in society. How important is it to help others in society?
I mean, it's an ambiguous question because like if you take it if you take like both like points like to extreme, which is like helping people is vital and helping people is not important, like you can justify all of them. Some of the points might sound like a cop out. For instance, if a person tells you like that it is not as pivotal to help others. Yeah, like if you live, even if you live in a close-knit society, because you should prioritize your own life and and things of that nature. You're kind of like trying to give yourself as much leeway as possible when it comes to just being a pure narcissist. And by the same token, right? Like if people like who tell you that it's downright imperative for you to help everyone, they also have like all manner of like flaws in their argument because like being altruistic might boomerang on you pretty harshly.
Can you give some examples of how that could happen?
Obviously, like you start like turning a blind eye to your own interests, right? When you prioritize, the well-being of others all the time, what it basically means is that it's going to come at the mercy of your own life. An example of, I don't know, like doing it in the professional settings, for instance. Supposing like you were promised a salary bump of some sort, and the company was all of a sudden bombarded with different issues. Stakeholders tell them that they have to conduct a massive round of layoffs. And they kind of like try to coax you into, I don't know, like believing like that the time is not really ripe for this, or is not really propitious for this salary hike. If you kind of like let them do it, if you but 9 times out of 10, what usually winds up happening is that they will forget, they will neglect your interests later on, because they understand that they can kind of manipulate you in different ways.
Do you think it's
Even though, like,
possible? Do you think it's possible to be altruistic but still be like ambitious and still have your own goals?
it is, but it's a very difficult thing to juggle. So you kind of have to, bank on your hunch, so to say, and be like really like prudent when it comes to helping others and prioritizing your own interests. It's very tricky. It's very like challenging. I don't know, like balance that you have to strike.
Mm-hmm. Let's move on and talk about homelessness. Is homelessness a problem where you live?
I reckon like it is a problem everywhere. Uh, the fact is, like in some countries, it is more conspicuous, and in other countries, the governments try to, conceal it, to to hush it up, so to say, and like that's usually what it all boils down to. Homelessness is a problem. Whatever the country you're in, like homelessness exists there, and you can try to bury your head in the sand, so to say, and pretend as if like it didn't exist, but at the end of the day it does.
And
And
why do you think
my
some people
country is no
become
exception.
homeless?
You can put it down to a laundry list of different factors. Like there is like an overabundance of them.
Could you give
You
some?
can, yeah, like just randomness, serendipity. Like some people, once again, are being laid off. Their family gives up on them, or maybe they have no family at all that they can, that they can rely on. And at some point, they're just once again like swamped with all of this like problems, and they can't really rectify any of them because of the sheer amount, because of the sheer number. So it's very difficult to even get started, like when you end up in a situation like this. Some people, they just, fall victim to drugs, right? I reckon like it's commonplace almost everywhere.
Okay, thank you. That is the end of the test.
Okay, that was really quick.
All right, so I hope you enjoyed that practice speaking test with Maxim. Again, I'm sure you will notice that his overall level of English is incredible. But again, can you spot anything in there that perhaps could be improved? Do let me know in the comments. I am doing free practice speaking tests at the moment, so if you're interested in that, please do get in touch with me. Information on how to contact me is given below, and I'm also doing IELTS writing checks too. But I'll leave it there for now. Thank you very much, and goodbye.